Well, I know that there's also the Farmland Trust, and they're trying to preserve farmland that are in these higher development areas, especially in the Mat-Su Valley. And so they're really working hard, because essentially what happens is farmers get to retirement and they're surrounded by development. Well, the first thing you want to do is say, I'm out, I've fought this long enough, I want my retirement, and sell it to the developer. But what the Farmland Trust does is they actually buy those development rights so that that farmer can still retire, but it remains in farmland. And so that's something that they're doing as well to help preserve the farmland.
Well, I'd love it if they tear down a Walmart and put up a farm.
One thing, too, I think that people don't realize that when we became a state, we were granted 103 million acres with the idea that we would use that to build ourselves an economy, a land-based economy. And we have not done that. We have sold only 1 million, 1%. So the place to start, I think, in the future for affordable farmland, which is already has the development rights stripped off of it, is new land that the state already owns.
Right. No, that's great.
Part of that, too, is road access, because there's a lot of farmland that is classified as farmland, but there's not any road access. So that's kind of, I mean, absolutely, and that's a whole nother issue in itself where, yeah, we would love to see more farmland. It's just, again,
well, hell, if if the state will shoot wolves out of airplanes, they can farm out of them, as far as I'm concerned. I'm learning about urban homesteading, and I'm even attempting to grow my own veggies, fruits, and herbs. Well, it is a challenge, though. Do you have any advice for a novice like me? Don't listen to anything Martha Stewart says. She has a crew of 500 people. Any thoughts for people
Just start in. Just do the best you can.
Just do it.
It's always a learning curve. We're still learning after 20-some years of growing. The learning curve is still straight up.
If marijuana were legal, could the Mat-Su Valley supply U.S. demand?
No idea.
I have no idea.
I think we'd have a lot of competition.
Oh, dear. Yes. That's great. Can we publish the names of farms that use Monsanto seeds? Who would know? Is there a registry? Do people have to register with the state ag board? Why the hell not?
You know, on another note on that is Monsanto sells their seeds, I was reading about this the other day actually, to a lot of other seed providers.
Right, so GMOs. Let's just say, if there are farms that are using GMOs, can we at least have a registry of that?
Are all the seeds, are they all labeled as GMO? No. Do you know? See, I didn't think so. So the farmers might, this is my point, is the farmers might not even be realizing, one, they're buying seed from Monsanto, or that they're genetically modified, if they're getting it from a different source.
And
but they can tell us what organic isn't.
That's right.
That's just a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They're like, this is organic, this is not. We don't have to tell you if this is a GMO seed or not. That's neat. The Frankenstein plant. That's just crazy. I'm sorry, I interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
You're on that? Okay. Can the Alaska legislature ban Monsanto seeds like they banned farmed fish? Again, they're not labeling them.
Yes, they won't. They don't even have the certification in Alaska. The farmers have to go through the state of Washington to be certified organic, and so there's no drop-in visits, there's no testing, nothing, and they didn't even look at any records. They just come in and certified everybody organic that wants to applies. It gives them money.
Wow. For River, please clarify why your vegetables, etc., can't be classified as organic. So again.
Probably the quickest, easiest thing is to look on our website, and that's www.arcticorganics.com, and that will explain our position on certifying.
Okay. For the home gardener, what seed companies do you recommend buying from? Denali? The Denali seed company, is that one that you would recommend?
No. Locally, we buy, well, we don't buy any seeds locally. We buy from Maine, through Johnny's and Fedco mostly.
Okay, that's who you recommend, and they're not using GMOs.
Correct.
Okay.
If they do, they actually Fedco refuses to use any of Monsanto seeds at all, and Johnny's may have some, but they certainly wouldn't put any GMO product out.
What can Alaska do to support Alaskan-grown products such as dairy industry farms and organic farmers? Buy it?
Buy local. I always tell people, you know, we get a lot of questions about how farmers grow their crops, and I always say, know your farmer, know your food. You know, like River, he doesn't have that certified label, but if you talk to him, you can learn that how he is growing is actually organic, even though he's not certified as such. And so I always say, know your farmer, know your food. And when you know that, and when you taste it and it's better, you'll buy it. Why not?
Right.
You know?
You just got to get the hook in their jaw, and then you can
create their awareness.
The other thing to remember too is how much more of the money that's spent, say on a gallon of milk, stays in this state compared to milk is up against what's called loss leader, where they put milk out at quite a bit lower cost than they really have into it,
right.
In order to get people to come to their store. And when you think about it, really the only thing that stays in Alaska in a gallon of Lucerne milk, hate to pick on anybody, but is about 2 or 3 cents for the shop guy, the stocker at night, to put it on the shelf. Everything else goes outside.
Wow.
I think I've heard that you spend $5 a week on local foods. The amount of times it turns around, what is it, 7 times or something that those dollars will turn around. And what if everybody just spent $5 on local products every week, which isn't that much. I mean, I buy milk once a week. I fit it there, and then a lot of other ways as well. But it's, you know, it's that little that can make that big of a difference.
And we could do that pretty quickly if people just sort of locked and loaded. Is it possible for Alaska to be totally self-sufficient with our food? I'm not. I need coffee, and until we got a coffee farm, no.
Well, we would have to include the Northwest.
Yeah.
You know, if they can grow.
We could take
Northwest,
Hawaii.
okay.
Hawaii's got that coffee
They
thing.
grow coffee, right?
Yeah, we'd be good there.
We're pretty
Well,
small,
Norway is quite self-sufficient, so it's possible.
It
but
has
you have to have a lot of policy-driven initiatives that everyone buys into. And so far, we don't have that.
Well,
in this
there's
state.
that, and also the realization that every time you spend $1, you're voting.
Right.
I mean, it's not just on Tuesdays every once in a while that you vote. Every time you spend $1, you are voting. Whether it's a union shop or not union shop, whether it's organic or it's local or it's not, all of those things are how you get to vote all the time. And I don't think people take as good advantage of that. Upped in weight with steroids and grains, you can taste the change. It can be healthier meat. That I'm not really sure what all this, if there's a question, but do you guys produce beef as well?
Well, only when the cow is at the end of her life. But no, not what you would call beef cattle.
Right.
No, they're not beef cattle. And there aren't very many beef cattle in this state. Patricia was talking about one group. There's another group on Umnak Island. And there are several farms around the state that have smaller numbers of beef cattle, and they range them. Actually, I have a couple. I have a Scottish Highland, but
right. Well, you know, but we've got all those free moose walking around.
Right.
It's pretty hard to
hard
get
to
people
compete,
to
yeah.
compete with that. All right. Well, it's funny. We're out of time, and we still have questions. And what's funny is that I think all of them are having to do with the hemp crop and how we can make that work in Alaska. All right. Thanks so much for being here to the panel, and we'll be back next week with more Up North. We're old enough to drink!